currently doing Ultimate Team on FIFA 19. We're currently going to be having a few games, but I'm also going to be doing some talking as we're on this live stream. So potentially on my last video, my recent videos that I've been updating you with, potentially now it's confirmed that Man United have triggered that 1 year extension on David De Gea's current contract. So obviously Man United may want to cash in on the player during the summer if there's no sign of him signing a new deal or an improved deal. And we know potentially Mourinho has a lot of praise for David De Gea because he's potentially the best goalkeeper in the world. And potentially, you know, there's a lot of players unhappy with Mourinho at this club, you know, potentially because he's had 14 champion, 40 phrase, 40 times qualified in the group phase. The season I didn't win the season I did play Champions League, I won the Europa League. So Mourinho's talking about his overall history. So why would we potentially care what he's achieved? Because he isn't doing all at United, as we all know. We also know he's known for criticising players as well, which Jose Mourinho should be doing. Oh yeah, so well, choose your reward. Yeah, just get 39,000 coins. Accept. Yeah. But yeah, as I said, Mourinho had a disappointing transfer window. You know, he only got 3 players in. All in all, since he's been here, he's signed 11 players, spent just under £400 million, and let 14 players go. We know 6 of Van Gaal's players are still here because Van Gaal got 12 in, as we all currently know in the current process. And yeah, so potentially David De Gea, report that Man United triggered that 1 year extension on his current contract. We know the player's been here since 2011. We know he's won the likes of the FA Cup, League Cup, Premier League, and you know, FA Cup and that here. He's won everything apart from the Champions League, of course, as David De Gea here. I think he's uncertain about what he wants to do with his future, but according to the press, Mourinho said that David De Gea does want to stay at the club. And Jose Mourinho said he's convinced that David De Gea will agree a new deal and an improved deal. But he said quite a few weeks ago that Jose Mourinho, he wasn't too convinced he was going to agree a new deal because there were talks going on and he was refusing to sign a new deal. Was David De Gea at the club? He's won Player of the Year 4 out of 5 seasons as David De Gea, and he was fantastic in Spain with Atletico Madrid. You know, risen up the ranks with them fantastically well. And reportedly, you know, the player's made over 2 century appearances, you know, since he's come to the club, you know, in the Premier League, and he's just an absolutely phenomenal goalkeeper. But reportedly, if Man United are to agree a new, brand new deal, Man United will probably may have to pay at least in the region of £300,000 a week. You know, that would potentially make him the highest paid goalkeeper. But potentially, we're getting in the game, potentially, if David De Gea, we do cash in for the player next summer, Man United said they were demanding that they wanted around £75 million for the player. We paid just over £17 million for him in 2011 when we got him under the Alex Ferguson era. Reportedly, Man United have identified a few replacements, as they do keep saying. You know, Jordan Pickford's been mentioned, Blanc's been mentioned. Jordan Pickford were good in the World Cup. Do you think he'd do well at United? You know, he's under a 6-year contract with Everton, and he's been at Everton only since 2017. Obviously got him from Sunderland. I think Everton paid like £25–30 million, but if Everton were willing to do any business, I think Everton would try and, you know, cash in, make a profit on the player. I think they demanded the one around £60 million, so that would be a £30 million profit. But I think Man United are identifying him. Obviously, if David De Gea doesn't agree a new deal and he leaves, but obviously Man United have. We had the option anyway to extend his trigger a 1 year extension on his contract, which we have done according to the BBC. So, but he said Juventus have been in talks as well. Juventus have reportedly, you know, been in talks. George Mendes has been discussing with Juventus. There's been talks about that because he has mentioned about winning silverware as well than David De Gea, and, you know, achieving to that higher level. It's mentioned Paris Saint-Germain. Obviously, they're under financial fair play, as we all currently know. They're under financial fair play, Paris Saint-Germain. You know, because they invest a lot of money in Mbappe now. But it said PSG were willing next summer partly to offer him £60 million, 4-year contract, and £300,000 a week, which would, you know, make him the highest paid goalkeeper in the world. There was talks about that the other day in the press. So potentially, yeah, we've identified 2 replacements. As I said, Pickford, who was in the ranks of Sunderland, being at Sunderland, you know, he was his senior career with Sunderland, went to a lot of teams on loan, and now Everton, you know, his performances for Everton have reportedly been very, very good. You know, Blanc been mentioned in the press as well. He's a player who's in Atletico Madrid, so he's highly experienced in Spain. I think this is his 5th season now with Atletico Madrid. Reportedly, he's got an 89 million buyout clause, around 87, 89 million buyout clause, something like that. Plus, he's got a deal with Atletico Madrid to 2021. I think he's made 174 over century appearances for them in all competitions since he arrived at Atletico Madrid. But reportedly, he's supposed to be very, very good. You know, he signed for Benfica at just the age of 17. You know, obviously when he was in his when he was in his prime, obviously. When he was in his prime, and he was part of the team that won the domestic treble with Benfica. And, I think Atletico Madrid only paid, was it 16 million for him or something? 17 million for him from Benfica. Atletico Madrid paid. So he's been potentially mentioned in the press as well as a potential replacement. Oh, he's offside. But yeah, with me, you know, Jose Mourinho needs to leave this club. Reportedly, he's going to get tens of millions of pounds to spend in January. I wouldn't trust Jose Mourinho with this money. I really wouldn't trust Mourinho with this money because I just don't think he's got the winning mentality at this club. The players are not playing for him. The players are unhappy under Jose Mourinho. A lot of money's been spent. You know, he spent £1 billion in all the managerial areas. Maybe just over. Obviously, I was expecting players Paul Pogba, as we all know. But yeah, you know, we've had different managers since Fergie's left with different philosophies, different styles of play, and this is a shocking season, you know. And Mourinho hasn't met the expectation levels, you know, when he got appointed Man United manager, you know. We have won the Europa League Cup, Community Shield, and got to FA Cup final last season. That's one thing I praise Mourinho for, but apart from that, I don't praise him for all, because I've praised him a couple of times this season, to be quite fair. You know, in the Juventus game away in the Champions League, I praised him for bringing them 3 substitutions on, because it turned the game around. You know, we was on the back for the majority of the game, but I praised him for that. But I criticised him in the City game, wrong again. He never drops Nemanja Matic. I only want to see Nemanja Matic dropped because he's been woeful this season. And he's just a static midfielder, so too is Marouane Fellaini. And, you know, potentially that's not a good midfield when you've got Matic and Fellaini in it, in my opinion. Matic, we know it. Jose Mourinho has a good relationship with Nemanja Matic, as we all know, because he's worked with him now, he's worked with him in the past. So we know he has a good relationship with him. So, but, you know, players were not satisfied with his reluctance to drop Nemanja Matic, and he hasn't dropped Nemanja Matic yet, from my knowledge. He has not dropped Matic once this season, I don't think, Jose Mourinho. You know, he also has a good relationship with Lukaku, does Jose Mourinho. Lukaku's obviously come out and he's actually suggested out he's one of Jose Mourinho's Man United favourites, because he has a good relationship with Mourinho, does Lukaku. As Lukaku said, he wasn't paying any attention to the players' disputes with Jose Mourinho, because obviously he doesn't have any problems with Jose Mourinho's Lukaku, but potentially Man United, you know, need a strong central defender. We need an attacker up there because we're lacking goals. We're conceding too many goals, especially this season. And Lukaku, you know, is lacking. Sanchez is lacking, as I say. And I think potentially, you know, Sanchez could leave the club. I think he could leave. Sanchez has come out today, as he updated you on my last video. He's come out in the press as Sanchez, and he's basically told his friends he wants to leave the club. Reportedly, from his knowledge, Sanchez has suggested out that he wants to leave to win major honours. This is what Alexis Sanchez has said. Obviously, he feels as though, like a lot of Man United players here at this moment in time, won't be winning silverware, and Sanchez wants to achieve that level, win major honours. And Sanchez feels as though he's probably convinced it won't happen whilst he's a Manchester United player, Alexis Sanchez. And reportedly, he has now got a dispute with Jose Mourinho because he isn't getting enough first team starts. You know, Mourinho didn't play him Tuesday night against Young Boys, and Sanchez was frustrated about this. He wasn't even named on the substitutes bench on Tuesday, so Sanchez feels frustrated about this. He is on $500,000 a week, as we all know. And from the player, though, he hasn't made an impact since he's come to Old Trafford, and potentially he's lacking in front of goal. When he plays, he's not good enough for Man United. He's known to be a prolific goal scorer in the past, you know, during his 4 or 5 years of Arsenal under Wenger. Proved it at Barcelona, you know, Sanchez. And Sanchez has won honours where he's been. He won FA Cups with Arsenal. He's won silverware, you know, in his past as Alexis Sanchez. But obviously we've only had the player since January, as we all currently know. We've only had Sanchez since January. potentially hasn't won out here yet as Sanchez at this club, because obviously he's only been here since January. And potentially, I think he's a player of his calibre wants to be up there challenging for silverware. Sanchez isn't making an impact. Reportedly, he's sat on the move to Paris Saint-Germain. PSG were linked to him last year, as we all currently know. And you know, he could go with just in a year with him being at the club, you know, because PSG could go for him in January. Obviously, we know they're under financial fair play, as I do keep mentioning to you. PSG are, you know, linked with quite a lot of players, and then if Sanchez was to leave, you know, Manchester United would have to find a potential replacement for Alexis Sanchez. And Perisic would be the ideal replacement. You know, we're linked with Pulisic, who's also a left winger, who can play in Sanchez's position, because Sanchez can play in Eustace, who can play a central role, he can play on the left, he can play as an attacking mid. But he just isn't established himself well at Manchester United. I just don't think he's complementing himself well to the likes of Rashford and Martial. He's just not. And, you know, I think, you know, he will be leaving. Mourinho did say, though, he doesn't, you know, potentially expect Alexis Sanchez to leave. But I do now, according to what he said in the press. He wants to be challenged super. It's similar to what De Gea said. He wants to be, you know, winning major honours. And, you know, there's a lot of players here at the moment under Mourinho. We're not convinced we can get back to being competitive and challenging for major honours, because to me the players are not getting the best out of Mourinho, Mourinho's not getting the best out of the players, and the majority of the blame is Mourinho, but you can also blame the players as well, so it's not just the manager. But I think, as I said, Mourinho's publicly wrong for criticising his players anywhere. Totally wrong for criticising his players, some of the top stars especially, and he shouldn't be publicly coming out and criticising players, as I say. He shouldn't be doing it, and it's not the first time he's done it. He's done it earlier on in the season as well. I think he has as well, Mourinho. But yeah, Ivan Perisic, as we know, has been mentioned. You know, he's been Ivan Perisic has been mentioned in the press, obviously. You know, he's age 29, he's Ivan Perisic, as we all know. A good two-footed player, good in the air, as I said. Not world class, but potentially, do you think he'd make an impact if he was to come to the Premier League? He did say, Ivan Perisic, he does dream of actually coming to the Premier League. This is what he said. He called it to Sky Sports. But yeah, do you think he'd deliver the goods to Manchester United? Ivan Perisic, you know, he's been at Club Brugge in the past, he's been at Dortmund, and he's been at Wolfsburg as the player, and he's won honours as Perisic. And you know, he's you know, Man United were in talks last summer. We've been heavily linked to him. I think Mourinho likes the player as well. We had a couple of bids turned down. Inter Milan were demanding £48 million for him, but Man United were reluctant to pay him. This is why a deal never got materialised for Ivan Perisic. And this FIFA does my head in.
And it's a perfect day for the player. It's a golden day for him. It's another great goal.
Well, it's a wonderful finish from a player who's been in wonderful form today.
I don't think we expected this. Such a one-sided affair.
But yeah, Ivan Perisic, we're willing to pay that £48 million, as I said. But reportedly, according from Inter Milan's perspective, they're under financial fair play. Reportedly, they demanded that they want around 31 million now for him, so they have reduced it by about 17 million compared to last summer. But reportedly, yeah, Man United could go in for him in January, because Inter Milan, obviously anywhere, can't buy players officially till next summer, obviously because they're under financial fair play, and they've sanctioned some players off, you know, to avoid sanctioning financial fair play. But they can agree but getting players in January, but they can't officially sign them, as we all know, till next summer, because under the financial fair play regulations are Inter Milan. But yeah, so they're looking to offload some players, you know, according to Beppe Marotta. Reportedly, he's saying though, Man United, Pogba could be part of the deal with Ivan Perisic and Milan Skriniar, because Milan Skriniar has been a potential Manchester United target, as we all know. He has been a potential Manchester United target. He's rated at around £70 million, plays centre-back, plays defensive midfielder. Reportedly, how old is he? 23 or something like that. So he's still in his prime. Reportedly, for Inter Milan, he's been there since 2017 as the player.
Nicely lined up for the set-piece specialist here with this free kick.
Oh, it's one matter. I think there's danger signs here.
I'm playing shit on this, man.
Well. Any danger to the goal has gone with that clearance.
I think he's been at Sampdoria in the past. Inter Milan said they were looking to renew his contract, but according to Beppe Marotta, they want to sanction them 2 players off that have been potential Manchester United targets, and potentially, you know, they could be involved in a players plus cash deal. They could be involved if Pogba going to Inter Milan and Skriniar and Perisic going to Old Trafford. That came in the paper the other. Quite a few days ago. I saw that on Match of the Day. It was in a couple of media outlets that reported on it, as I do keep updating you. Inter Milan willing to pay £200 million plus likely to offer 2 of their players as part of the deal, and a deal worth up to £200 million. This is according to Beppe Marotta, and the narrative has stemmed since he's been the Inter Milan director. Reportedly, he's obviously the ex-Juventus director as well. He's Beppe Marotta. We know he has a good bond with Paul Pogba, because obviously, was it Juventus for just under a decade? The director, was he at Juventus just under a decade? And he has a good relationship with Pogba. We know Pogba's on disputes with Mourinho. I don't think Pogba feels settled here, to be quite honest with you. He hasn't proven himself in English football. He proved himself well in Turin, Juventus. There were talks saying that actually Paul Pogba wanted to make a move back to Juventus, because he told the Juventus players wanted to make a move back to Juventus. That got reported in the press the other week, that he wanted to do that, Paul Pogba. According to Raiola, he currently maybe wants Paul Pogba to leave. But Ferguson going to Vodento because he wasn't getting enough game time, you know. Then we got him 4 or 5 years later for 89 million, our most expensive player. And potentially, if we were to go along with this deal, Man United wouldn't want to offload it, sanction him off. But if Man United were to go along with this deal, as I said, if Man United were going to go along with this deal, you know, we'd benefit from it, because we'd make huge profit, over 100 million of profit, and plus 2 players as part of the deal. So that probably would persuade Man United to let Paul Pogba go to Inter Milan. Inter Milan are looking to hijack Juventus' move for Paul Pogba. So potentially, you know, there has been talks of that as well. But potentially for me, I just think Mourinho's, regardless of Mourinho who gets in as a key sign, I want him out of the club. I think the board needs to toughen their stance on the situation of what's going on at the club. You know, he's changed the whole identity. What's happened to the type of players that we used to have under the Alex Ferguson days? They're just full of mediocre players, you know, and what's happened? You know, under Ferguson we achieved so much great success. We know he went 4 years without winning a trophy, did Alex Ferguson, but you know, Alex Ferguson, you know, great manager. We know we're never going to get as managers comparable to what he did and what he achieved at the club. But we had players there who won titles, Champions Leagues, FA Cups under Alex Ferguson, and even played on world stages at one point under Alex Ferguson, with the squad Alex Ferguson had. And just what's happened to that team? You know, this team we know is totally different now to Ferguson. We know there's still quite a few players here from the Ferguson era, like Valencia, Ashley Young, Jones, Smalling and all that, and you know, but potentially, you know, this team is not like the players we had under Alex Ferguson. You know, it's just not comparable whatsoever. And potentially, for me, we have got a lot of players coming to the end of the deals, as we all know. Mourinho still thinks he wants us to get top 4 by the new year, and if we keep performing like we are performing, we are not going to do it. And it's just, you know, the simple as that. But potentially, it's like year 1 with Mourinho again, where he's just coming in the club, discard his history. He's had a great history, we all know that, but he seems to be talking about it a lot. You know, he's arrogant, and 1 minute you see Mourinho happy, 1 minute you see him very, very frustrated. To me, he looks clueless. What he did on Tuesday night, he threw them rack of water bottles with relief of Fellaini scoring that goal. Mourinho's aware of the pressure he's under at the club, but Mourinho's had a dig back at all the fans, you know, and when he's had a dig back at the fans, he's brought his history and what he's achieved and what he's won into the equation. But what we know, he's been a great manager in the past, but why would a Manchester United fan be bothered what he's achieved in the past? It is a good pedigree, but the problem is this is his 3rd season at United. and he hasn't achieved what we expected him to achieve. So we're just going to get on with the game for a bit now. Shut up talking for a bit.
Hello everyone, Martin Tyler here, Alan Smith with me as usual. Big welcome to you to today's game.
Just gonna get on with this game.
So we're ready to start. Sit back and enjoy the
I need to win
90
this.
minutes of football. And here it is, the starting referee quick early in the game to...
Don't forget on this channel tomorrow there will be the Southampton Man United preview coming up as well to update you on.
And he's booked earlier.
Yeah, he's saying, well, it's my first challenge, my first tackle, but the ref's not having any of it.
We haven't been that good away from home this season. We've done the Champions League record, you know, we've qualified, one game to go. Terrible performance on Tuesday. And we've only scored bloody one goal at home in the Champions League group stage this season, which is bad.
Good interception.
Oh.
And the goalkeeper has done well to stop that one. Cut out by the defender. Come away with the ball cleanly. Great tackle. And it's behind for the goal kick. Now Laporte. Matuidi. Ben Yedder. Gundogan. Alvaro Morata. Read the intentions of the opposition there to make the interception. They might have played him in here. Tovan. He could lay it off to the supporting player. Untidy work. Morata. Alvaro Morata. He's going to trust his goalkeeper's footwork here with a back pass.
But we know it's come out in the press as well that Manchester United have been linked with Christian Pulisic as well, good young age talent. Says Chelsea and Liverpool have also been interested in him. Borussia Dortmund have confirmed they were willing to do business next summer, but Borussia Dortmund said they want to keep him until the end of the season, as long as Man U, Chelsea and Liverpool are willing to pay up to the £70 million Borussia Dortmund, you know, demanding, you know, they will let him go. Will Borussia Dortmund? I think he's well proven journey with Borussia Dortmund, and I think he'd do well in the Premier League, considering he's a good candidate. You know, in Germany with Borussia Dortmund, and he's attracted the interest of quite a few teams, and obviously Chelsea are identifying him as a replacement for Eden Hazard. Liverpool have identified him as well. Klopp's got a very, very good bond with him because Klopp's looking to reunite with Pulisic. So obviously Klopp used to work with him at Borussia Dortmund, and his current deal ends in 2020, and there's no sign of basically him agreeing a new deal with Borussia Dortmund. So potentially I think he will go next summer. I think Chelsea can, or Liverpool or that can agree a fee for him in January, but he will officially sign next summer according to what the media says, because they're unwilling to do business Borussia Dortmund in January for the player. But he's risen up the ranks well, he's been in the senior team since like 2016
Lacazette.
as
Probing pass.
Christian Pulisic, and he's a very, very good player. Can play attacking mid, can play on the wing as well, and he's known for scoring goals with Borussia Dortmund. And
Reaching for it a little
very,
bit
very
with the header,
good player
and
indeed.
that's
And
the expected
I think,
result.
do you think he
Back to the
complement,
training
you
ground,
know,
I think.
the team at Manchester United well if he came to United?
He's
But
coming
there has
out.
been talk about that as well at Man United. Have entered the race for Pulisic, and I think he's a very, very good young player. I do, honestly.
Alvaro Morata, quick-witted and quick in his movement too to intercept there. Could be in trouble.
Even though Klopp spent a lot of money at Liverpool, just under £400 million at winners, you know, he's still looking to address his squad more. Defensively they've improved, attacking is very, very good. But yeah, Christian Pulisic, very, very good young player indeed. Great young age prospect of what I've watched of him. Very good, intelligent player indeed.
Hit the post.
Can't remember the score at the moment, it's just bloody pissing me
Strong
off.
tackle. Matuidi. Good work, really, to read the intention of the pass. Mata!
It's just not going in this snap for me, and it's getting on my
Says
nerves.
the referee.
How many chances have I had whilst I've just been
Ben Yedder.
blabbering on?
So close to taking the lead
But
there.
obviously,
the work denying
as I
them.
said though,
But
Chelsea,
keep playing the
you
way
know,
they are, playing some good stuff
could
at the
lose
moment.
Eden Hazard next summer, because obviously Eden
Couldn't
Hazard
get
is
it to
actually
feet. He's come rather
admitted
deep
he
to do
could
that, the
possibly
main
leave
striker.
Chelsea in the summer.
Excellent
He has
pressure.
been at Chelsea
They
since
should be able to
2012, so he has
build
been
from
there
here in
6-7
Lacazette.
years, and
Playing
he's a
forward,
great
bit of
player.
menace in this
You know,
attack.
great experience of being in France. He did say PSG were keen on him, but he's ruled himself out of making a
Good
move to
place to win the ball
PSG
here.
next summer as Eden Hazard, and potentially he's a world-class player, and Chelsea obviously in the race for Pulisic to identify him as a suitable replacement for Eden Hazard, and obviously
Looked so
Pulisic
promising
is
at
in
the
his
beginning,
prime
but came
years.
to naught. Untidy work.
Hazard is absolutely brilliant though, to be fair, absolutely world-class. He can play as an attacking mid,
Ben
he
Yedder.
can play out wide as well. His creativeness is good, he's a prolific goal scorer, his work rate's fantastic.
Lacazette. Alex
And yeah, he's got a year and a half left on his deal at Chelsea. There's no signing him signing a new deal with Chelsea.
Saved by the goalkeeper at full
Potentially he
stretch.
could leave next summer. He said from his own perspective he could leave next summer, but highly experienced in France will leave, because he was at the ranks for them their youth
Time
academy
to
for
get the
2
cross
years,
now.
and he's been playing in senior football since the age of 16. You know, he began his senior career with Lille at the age of 16. He won honours with Lille, made over 190 appearances. Since he's been at Chelsea, won the Europa League this season with Chelsea as well. Did Eden Hazard, and he's potentially a world-class player. Mourinho's a big admirer player, because Mourinho's a good, you know, bond with Eden Hazard. So
Put the corner in the middle.
potentially there's a few teams in the race for Christian Pulisic. As I said, it got reported yesterday, Man United entered the race for him.
Short the corner this time.
And he's young, and he still needs to grow and develop. As I said, potentially we have got a couple of young players. We've got Rashford, Martial. Martial hasn't been his potential in the last couple of games, as we all know. But he's been potentially definitely our best outfield player this season. You know, there's been no sign of him agreeing a new deal yet. Man United have been in discussions. There's been no significant sign of Martial actually signing a new deal with Manchester United, and I will want him to go. You know, he hasn't had the best relationships with Jose Mourinho and Martial. He has been here since 2015. He's a great young candidate. Still needs to grow and develop, as we all know.
Well, the word average comes to mind about his first half. What do you think, Alan?
And I think Man United's right hand side needs to address him. I think Man United, we need a strong central defender. Mourinho said he's still looking to get rid of Bailey and Rojo, because Bailey obviously can't even get into the team at the moment. Rojo's injured, and it's been Lindelof and Smalling, you know, mainly participating at that centre back position. But Lindelof's obviously injured now. He missed the game on Tuesday because he's injured, and Mourinho he's hoping he's back by Christmas. He's got a muscular problem, but Mourinho hasn't confirmed the exact date. He will be recovering from his injury, and he has improved this season, to be quite fair, as Victor Lindelof. Obviously he played Jones alongside Smalling on Tuesday night, obviously to fulfil Lindelof's position. What's going on here?
So it is time now for the start of the second half. able to cut that out with some sharp movement. It's looking good, this move. This could be it. Thauvin! That's a great finish for the first goal of the day.
I'm playing fucking shit in this. I tell you what, I haven't been on FIFA for ages, to be quite honest with you.
Well, this is what you call leading from the front. A strike from the skipper.
Yeah, he's popped up at a very good moment there.
So the first goal, it's 1-0. It's a neat pass. Here's the chance. He's refused to be beaten here.
Well, standing ovation from the fans, and why not? What a stop.
Corner played into the middle. Lacazette. Alvaro got his shot off now. Referee points to
Just
the
can't
corner.
get ball into this net. I just don't understand why.
Opportunity to cross it now. Gundogan. Anthony Martial looking to win it back. A chance to break away now on the counter. Not a nice challenge. What will the ref do? It's a yellow card and, well, it was a certain yellow card, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Looking back on it, he had no choice at all.
Will be my last game, then I'll be going off the stream,
Now
so
this
if you
looks
do consider
promising.
drop a like, or if you do consider
Lacazette!
subscribe to the
Oh,
channel.
goal.
Oh,
They lead
fuck.
by 2 now. They'll feel a little bit more comfortable, and they're good value for this advantage at the moment.
Well, I'm playing fucking mama.
Let's widen the margin here to 2-0. Ben Yedder. Thauvin. Lacazette. Lacazette slips it through. Martial in the clear. Wonderful reflexes to make the save from close range. It's a corner. In goes the corner. Only shots on here. Oh, charged down. Throw in now. Florian Thauvin. Trying to get behind the defenders to get in a
Going
good
off
cross.
the stream.
And here's the shot. Well, he's reached that spectacularly.
I thought that was in, Martin, I've got to say.
And that will be a corner. And in it goes. Nodded. And now the shot. They have to do better than that
Fuck's
to beat
sake.
Pickford. Lacazette. The shot's on. Good stop by the goalkeeper. What's the keeper doing here? The break is definitely on. And shoots! And that shot's blocked very quickly. Morata. Plenty of width for the team to attack into. Trying to find an opening. Not panicking. Alvaro Morata. Good work, really, to read the intention of the pass. On to the attack now. Oh, that's good defending. Gundogan. Lacazette. It's Ilkay Gundogan. It's a very good interception. Lacazette. It's a quick break. Clean through, one-on-one against the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's a wonderful stop, Martin, isn't it? And no bits and pieces either to follow up on.
You know, when was the last time I went 2 games without scoring a fucking goal, man?
Alvaro Morata. It's a poor touch.
Oh,
and
for fuck's
possession's
sake.
gone away. 20 minutes of the... Really in the clear now, in on goal. And that's given away possession. Lacazette. We could be in. Morata. Frustrating for them, really. Hampers the opportunity to play on the break, but it's broken down. He's got his shot off now. And the goalkeeper plunged to make the save. It'll be a corner. In goes the corner. It's a brave effort, really, in amongst the players to get the header in, but off target, way off target.
Yeah, not his best effort, that's for sure.
Ben Yedder. Tolisso. They might have played him in here. Shot off! And he knocks in the goal.
Ah.
I have to say, it's
I
so
can't be fucking
one-sided
half
today,
this
but
man,
all
man.
credit to the team
It's absolute
that are
wank, this
racking up
fucking
the
game.
goals.
Doesn't fucking end, honestly.
Here's Mata.
Can't be arsed with it anymore. I cannot be arsed, honestly.
Tolisso.
Can't be
Lacazette.
fucking arsed
Turnover
with this
there that we
shitty
didn't
fucking
expect.
game anymore.
Morata. Now the countdown is to 10 minutes left.
Just every time we shoot, it
Excellent
just does not
interception.
go in the net. It's really fucking annoying.
Real individual inspiration here. They'll need to try and get the ball back now. Sidibe. Lacazette. Lost the ball. Alvaro Morata threads it through. And it's a goal here.
3-1.
Well, they
Scored.
cut the
Last.
margin by 1. But all you can say is, well done for trying at this late stage. 3-1 the scoreline as we restart the game. Well, that's a moment for at least the fans to treasure. They've seen their team score today, but not too much in the grand scheme of things, is it?
No, I think they realise that the game is up, that the result is decided, but always nice to get a consolation.
I haven't played so good today on this.
Lacazette.
But yeah, as I said, I've got
Good
over
one.
100,000 coins now,
Lacazette.
which is good to see.
Here's Martial. Giving it away, Anthony Martial. Mata. Oh, he's cut that out well read. They've got an opportunity to really get at them with pace now. Tolisso. Now with Martial. That will be the goalkeeper's ball. They tried to get a runner in behind the opposition's defensive line. Top gets blocked. It's tough for the defenders. They keep conceding these corners. Corner played in. Well, that is from the realms of footballing miracles. It's a brilliant clearance from the line.
He is a defender, an out-and-out one. His instincts were fantastic there.
Good defending. It's finished now with the final whistle.
Shit. Let's have a look at the statistics. 13, 18. Fucking shit. Anyway, we'll be going on to stream now. More live videos coming up very soon. As I said, if you do consider drop a like on the video, and more live videos coming up very late. So take care, God bless guys. I'll see you all again very soon. Thanks for watching, as I said.